Happy Saturday, Mr. Johnny Shu. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Very excited for you to go to NCTE next week with so many of our nerdy book club friends. And we were supposed to present together a graphic novel thing, so I'm sure your presentation with Jenny and the crew will be wonderful, and I wish that I could be there. But I probably will be having a kid between now and shortly after then. So, as you know, I will not be there, but I wish you all the best, and I can't wait to follow along on Twitter. I thought I would be super sad about not going to NCTE, and I was right. I am really sad, but I'm also really excited because we're welcoming another person into our family, which is really exciting. Man, Mr. Shu, I'm telling you, if we have this baby this weekend, it will be officially the longest week of my life. Monday and Tuesday, I met with 27 parents after school those 2 days, and just some long nights of conferences, long nights of conferences. And then on Thursday, I went to the funeral of one of my students, former students, Lauren, who was 14, and that was awful, Mr. Shu. I don't know if you've had to experience that, but that was one of the worst. I guess if teaching career, that's probably one of the worst things, the worst thing that I've ever experienced. I taught Lauren in 2000. I believe it was 9 and 10. I believe it was 2009 and 10, or 10 and 11. I believe it was 9 and 10, my third year. And she was a girl who loved scary books, and she loved things like Goosebumps, and there's lots of scary books that she read. She would always want to read me the really scary parts, and that was always like a little joke we had between us. Like, anytime she would come near me with a book, I would just start pretend running away, knowing that she was going to try to creep me out. And so seeing her life come to a close at 14 was so sad and just tragic. And the worst part, I'm sure that, I think I mentioned it to you, it just didn't have to happen. Lauren was tormented on an app called Yik Yak and some other, I'm sure, ways of bullying. But Yik Yak, if you don't know it, friends, there's nothing good about it. And it's just like Whisper and Ask FM and some of those other apps that are just being used by kids to bring each other down, which is really sad. So, I don't know. We just have such a responsibility as educators to make sure that our kids understand kindness and the right way to interact online and with each other. So it starts young, and we need to be there for them. So yeah, it's tough, Mr. Shu. I don't want to make everyone sad on this beautiful Saturday. So I will, after the funeral was over, out in the lobby of the church, a bunch of my students came up, Mr. Shu, and I got a chance to talk with them, including Daria, who I taught my very first year, and she's actually where we got the name for our daughter, which was really fun to see. Daria, who's 5'11", almost as tall as me, and that was fun. And I saw a bunch of my students from Lauren's class, and they wanted to talk about Fig Pudding, which is one of my all-time favorite books, and Yada Yada. So I'm thankful that Ralph Fletcher's words stayed with them for so many years. And one of the kids who was in my class the year before came up to me, and he's driving now. That was so odd to see him with car keys and things. But he wanted to talk about Christopher Paul Curtis and how much he enjoyed reading Bud Not Buddy and the Watsons Go to Birmingham when he was in my class, and how him and his mom actually went and met Christopher at an event in Michigan, which was really cool. So it's fun to think about what they remember, and just to hear their stories from 4th grade was really neat, and that they would even want to come up and talk to me still after all these years. Yeah, it was cool. That was cool. And I went to my old school, and so many things were the same, and so many things were different. It was weird, Mr. Shu. There's you have to get buzzed in now, and then there's a new secretary, and she's like, well, what are you doing? She's like, who are you? I'm like, well, or what are you here for? I'm like, I'm here to see Miss Birchmeyer. And they're like, do you have an appointment? And I was just like, no, I taught here for 6 years, and I want to talk to my friend. But she was just doing her job. But it just felt weird it felt weird. I've only been gone a little over a year, but I got to see some friends, and that was really fun. And I'll close in with around this really cool moment. This 4th grader, 3rd or 4th grader came in, and I was talking with Miss Birchmeyer, and it was her birthday, and she offered Miss Birchmeyer a cupcake, and then she looked at me, and she goes, oh, hi, Mr. Sharp, would you like a cupcake? Which I thought was, come on. This is I had never left to her. It was cute. So, it's fun. It's fun to think about the impact that we have and the way that we will be remembered, but also just the duty that we have to serve these children and to give everything that we have and be there for them and try to do everything that we can to make sure that their lives turn out the way that they should. So, Mr. Shu, I hope you have a happy Saturday. I am going to have a great Saturday no matter what. So, have a great day, and I'm going to read this weekend. I want to read so bad, Mr. Shu. I need to have a great day, Mr. Shu. Happy reading.